Well, welcome to the Life Groups and Life Missions Leadership Podcast. We're honored that you chose to spend just a few minutes of your week with us. We hope that today's content will bring value to you as a leader and as a follower of Christ.
So as you guys can see, we're in a brand new location to the podcast. We haven't actually recorded on stage before. And this is really one of the funnest parts about doing these podcasts is we never really know where we're going to do the next podcast. We literally think about it at the last minute. About 30 minutes ago, we were on the roof of the church.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out how to do it from the roof. We were talking about perspective today in a way, and the sun was really, really bright, and we were going to be squinting at you the whole time, so we thought maybe this might be a better option.
Yeah, and man, right now, when we're really in that same vein of perspective, we're in an amazing message series, 1 minute after you die, and this has been such a challenge for me to really be thinking through things from an eternal perspective.
Yeah, because when we start looking at how we use the resource that God has given us, probably one of the most valuable resources that God has given us, our time, we want to be using that intentionally. We want to be using that knowing that there is an eternity in the waiting, and we want to be able to use the time that God has given us here on this earth wisely.
Yep. And so I'm reminded of one of our core values that says we give up things we love for things we love even more. It is an honor to sacrifice for Christ and his church. And one of those sacrifices can be and will be time.
Yeah, because we cannot say yes to everything, right?
No.
Can't say yes to everything. We have to save our best yes for the best opportunities. And a lot of the times when an opportunity comes up, our first reaction is, oh, I don't have time for that.
Yes.
And that's not always the best perspective to use when we're looking at the resource that we've been given.
Right, and that is right in line with this leadership book that I am reading right now, or listening to rather, called Level Up Your Life. It is by an author, Steve Kamb, and it's for guys like me who are kind of nerdy, just to kind of think through things from a video game perspective. So it's really cool, but he challenged in this most recent chapter I'm listening to, he said, instead of saying you don't have time for and fill in the blank, change what you say to it's not a priority for me to and fill in that blank, because then what you begin to see is, man, I really need to be investing my time into this, and I really need for this to be a priority. And one of those things is life group meetings.
Yeah.
Life group meetings, attending church, engaging in God's word, prayer, attending church, so many of these different things. These are all things we should be investing our time into.
This is a great way for us as leaders to be able to challenge the people in our span of care, to take a new perspective and look at their time in a new way with an eternal value. Because there's a lot of times that we have great opportunities that come up, and because we have chosen something else, there's often we lose out on a valuable opportunity because we're not willing to say no to some things. And when we take the opportunity to prioritize our time, to put the big rocks in first, to make those things that are really valuable a non-negotiable part of our schedule, when we decide that we're going to do that, we can truly honor God best with the time that he's given us.
Yes, so here is our challenge to you guys. The next time you think I don't have time for, change your perspective and say, I am not prioritizing, or this is not a priority in my life, and challenge the people in your life group. We hear oftentimes of life groups, sometimes there's 3 people there and sometimes there's 10 people. So the next time you hear someone in your group say, well, I just didn't have time to come to group, challenge them to change their perspective and to actually say, I didn't prioritize, or it wasn't a priority for me to attend group.
Yeah, when we take that, when we make that mental shift, we have an opportunity to be able to use what God has given us in the best possible way. And we want to lovingly challenge people to be able to use their time well. And as you guys know, as we've both experienced, man, life groups are such a valuable part of my week that it is a top priority. It is one of the big rocks that I put in first, much like doing this video
Yes.
for you guys. Like, this is important for us to be able to communicate with you about what God is doing in our lives and what we know He's doing in this ministry. But until we see you guys next time, and until we get to record this next time, man, we hope to be able to shake your hand in the lobby, hear how your group is doing. Give us a call, text us, email us. We want to know the stories of life change that are happening in your group so we can celebrate those with you. We know you guys are going to have an amazing week. We look forward to seeing y'all this weekend. And remember, whoever finds God
Finds life.